Hey everyone, welcome back to Bridge the Gap podcast. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Scott.
And we hope you enjoyed last week's episode. It was a little put together reel of clips that we either never posted or were bloopers that y'all never saw.
Yeah.
Dad wasn't feeling the hottest on Father's Day, unfortunately.
Was that last week? Jeez.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So we were not able to film, but we are back. Happy belated Father's Day.
Thank you.
And we just celebrated a year of the podcast.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
As of like yesterday.
Wow. That's cool. That's pretty cool.
I was going to tell you yesterday, but I was like, I figure I'll save it for,
for
when we were live and rolling.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's exciting. Listen, it's even just despite our busy schedules and the change in my schedule and stuff, it's just been fun to do and connect with you. And we've been getting people that enjoy it. That's not just family and friends. So, if that's what our intention was. Plus, it gives us a chance to get some of your creativity out, and then we get to stay connected as an adult daughter and dad. So it's pretty cool. That's awesome. Yeah, last week, just didn't feel well. Medicine reacts to a person differently as you get older, and I am getting older, and it's weird, and we've talked about it before, so I'm not going to belabor it, but it's there's just random things that all of a sudden you think you're fine, and then you do something, and your body's like, yeah, I don't accept that anymore.
Don't do that anymore.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's weird. Like it happens all the time physically, like all of a sudden you can't do certain things because you just get older. But when it comes to medication, there's a reason why there's a bunch of labels on medication, like take it with food and don't do this. And, when you're young, your body just goes, yeah, okay, I got it. And then, and then all of a sudden, one day, your body goes, yeah, we're not
doing that anymore.
Yeah, I'm rejecting that. So,
yeah.
Weird. It's weird getting old, man. I don't know. Those of you that watch or listen that are older, I know you empathize and can absolutely relate. It's just, almost like it feels like sometimes almost every day something happens and you're like, oh, I guess this is how that works now. I'm not doing that anymore, because like I've said to you before, mentally, I still feel like I'm in my mid-30s, but physically, and as pictures and video show, what I see in the mirror when I'm getting ready for work in the morning is not what comes up on pictures and on video. So that's the other thing that's weird is you still see yourself younger too. It's a weird mental mind thing. It's odd. So
yeah.
But anyway, I feel better. Father's Day was obviously much more mellow than I really intended and wanted to be. I mean, I wanted a kind of a chill day, but that was a whole nother level. I was in bed all day, which, me, I don't like that. I like, even for me, relaxing is still doing some things,
Yeah, you're incapable of it, actually.
Yeah, I can't just lay around. It's really hard. So that was a little bit of a bummer, and it was anticlimactic. I just felt bad for like your mom and your brother who were here because we didn't even really celebrate it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So, oh well, next Father's Day hopefully will be better. But yeah, we're back, and the blooper reel was funny that we shared. I forgot I went off on a company. All pretty valid still. Like I watched it and I started laughing because I was like, it was pretty valid. And to be fair, and I said it because it was a while ago, I was like, it's been 3 years and I've been quiet. I don't need to be quiet anymore, and that's pretty true. I did my part and kept my mouth shut about them for a long time. So
you waited your time.
I waited my time, and nevertheless, they still suck. And I'm happy to see them flailing. And they fired their CEO in the fall, and or he went on to pursue other things. And I think Carvana stock split because it's now $65. So it's split. So it's even valued more, and it's still worth more than CarMax. CarMax is 52. So anyway, it was good to kind of see that and laugh about it, and how hard you and I were laughing when I went off on my tangent. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So outside of that, things are good, I guess, right? We it's hot as Haiti. I mean,
Hot as hell, bro.
I probably shouldn't say hot as Haiti because there's a big controversy with, asylum seekers having to go back home. So I guess I shouldn't say Haiti, but
I just say it's hot as hell because
It's pretty damn hot.
It was 88 degrees this morning.
So I went to work early this morning because there's a night operation. And so I was in the car at 3:00 this morning, and the temperature gauge in the car said it was 78 degrees at 3:00 in the morning. So it's hot.
It's hot. And right now here it's 93.
Yeah.
But it feels like 105.
Holy crap.
I don't care who you are. That's hot as balls.
That's hot as balls.
I don't care where you've been. I don't care where you came from. In the South, 100, if it feels like 105, it's a fishbowl outside.
Yeah,
That's
hot.
what it feels like. It's awful.
It's hotter
there. I went out this morning because Starbucks just re-released the s'mores line of drinks.
Why not?
That was a big deal because in 2016, my big fat ass at 12 years old, I ate it up. I love anything s'mores flavored. I love s'mores. It's my favorite part of summer. So as soon as that came out, I was like, yup, mobile order placed. So I went out and literally just walking to my car, which is parked directly outside of my stairwell. I was like, this is bullshit. I was like, this is bullshit. I was in this tank top and shorts by 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was still hot. I got in my car, started sweating. I'm like, the sun isn't even fully up yet. Like, this is bullshit.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. It's so it's hotter there than it is here. It's 91, feels like 100. But here's the crazy part. The high today is 92, which means it'll feel, 100 to 102-ish probably. By Friday and Saturday, the temperature is 98 and 99, which means it's going to feel like 115. It's going to be it's hot. Like, good Lord. So, gotta love it. Summer came with a vengeance. We've been talking about how slow summer's been to start because it was a pretty mild May and June, but man, it's back with a vengeance now.
I was not complaining. I'm now complaining. I actually despise summer. Anyone who knows me knows this is a basic fact. I don't care that school's not in. I don't care that there's swimming pools. I don't care that there's a beach. None of it's good enough. Okay? It all sucks.
Yeah.
Summer is boring and it's hot. I've felt this way since I was a kid.
Yeah, but that's crazy because as a kid, we did tons and tons of trips.
No, I know, but it's boring. Like, summer in general is boring.
How can that be boring when you're traveling?
Because you can take trips any time of the year.
Traveling to Florida, traveling to California, traveling to New York, traveling to...
California. The trips are the best part, though. But summer in general, boring. I can do without summer.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Just saying.
Seems like a crazy thing to say, but anyway.
I know people tell me that I'm crazy because they're like, winter's so much worse. No. Nope. I'll take winter and winter break every single day over feels like 105 with nothing to do.
Nothing you want to do. there's
I
plenty
can't
to
be out in
do.
the sun in the heat like this.
Well, you have a pool.
Yeah, that will feel like a bathtub at this point.
Not compared to how hot the air is. If the air feels like 100 and the pool's 88, then the pool feels amazing.
Well, I walk outside and I feel like I stepped in the pool.
That's so stupid.
Gross.
You're crazy.
My skin's too sensitive.
Oh, whatever.
I overheat easily. It's just
baby.
miserable for me.
Big baby. You're a big baby.
No. I'm completely valid. Everyone's just clouded by the whole nostalgia of, oh, it's summer, I can live forever and be with my friends. And rah, rah, rah. No. We're all kidding ourselves. Every single year we kid ourselves.
I think you have a distorted view of how you were as a kid, because when you were young, you loved summer because we did a bunch of stuff like the beach. And
yeah, but again, the trips.
And you and your best friend hanging out in the bonus room and playing on the playground and going to pools like at the Y, and you did all sorts of fun stuff.
Again, the trips were fun. In general, though, by July, after July 4th, everyone's bored. Because we did go to the pool already, and we already took the trips. So now we just sit inside because it's too damn hot to go out.
You're such a glass.
And then you can't even come in.
Half empty perspective. Good
no,
Lord.
That's just how I feel.
I
That's
know.
not half empty.
It's a little half empty.
But that's how I feel.
It's a little grumpy.
So people shit on me all the time for enjoying winter. It's the same thing.
That's funny. That's funny. Well, anyway, the great thing about this summer is the World Cup is happening. The U.S. play. By the time this airs, the USA will have played. So let's hope, knocking on wood, that they win and continue this amazing event. Huge upsets. Netherlands are out. Germany's out. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But you know what's really cool is you and I have talked about, I think we've talked a little bit about this, but we haven't touched a ton because we don't talk politics. We try to stay away from it. It's so cliche and taboo. Everybody everywhere talks about it all the time. And God only, nobody needs another podcast that's politically charged and motivated. But,
no.
Plus,
I'm also just so tired of talking about politics
it's
all the time.
It's unbelievable to me how it's inserted into everything, right? It's just inserted into everything. It's just exhausting.
It was one of those topics that you don't ever talk about unless it's
religion and politics.
Unless it's someone that you're planning on spending your life like a life partner.
Right.
Then that's something you discuss, but
right.
Not like I can't be your friend because you're pro-life.
Right.
Whoa. It's
immersive. It literally, and I don't know how and why, and I wish I knew, but to your point, it's in everything, and it didn't used to be that way. So I don't want to bring this up. I hesitated at first, but it's been so nice to see all the positivity from having the World Cup in the United States. You see it everywhere on TikTok or on Instagram or Facebook and how many posts are out there from foreigners that were we've been lied to about America. The people are nice. The food is amazing. The scenery is great. The parks are amazing. They've just been lied to. And it goes back to that whole media just so skewed to present us in such a horrible light. And it's not subject to just us either. Because, before I went to London, Mom was freaking out. She was like, it's so dangerous over there, rah, rah, rah. And it was the safest I've ever felt while traveling. Right.
It wasn't bad at all. The people weren't rude because I was American. The same things on our end. We're being told that Europeans hate us and they all think we're stupid and they're going to pickpocket you every chance that you're outside. And it's those are the nicest people. I've never received more compliments in my life than I did when I was over there.
Yeah. And listen, I know there are elements to that danger, right? There's legitimate parts of this country and other countries where there's this influx of people that have not assimilated and adjusted to the Western way of life, and so there is elements of that, and if you
Well,
think,
yeah, 100%.
and if you think there isn't, then you're fooling yourself. So there's 100% elements of that, but you know, our president is this big, bad, angry, blah, 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 and they come over and they're like, no, it's actually not that way at all. And they're fascinated and they're just so enamored with how patriotic the country is and how supportive and
we're
proud.
not even at our best, by the way.
We're not even close.
Not even close.
Not even close. But like,
we haven't been very patriotic since COVID, it feels like.
Right?
But that's another thing is, like we've talked about, I feel like you can be patriotic and proud of where you come from without necessarily supporting what your government's doing. Because even though like our government's like for the people, they're not doing a lot recently that's for the people. And so a lot of us are very upset.
Right.
Like, so that's the thing. When I say I'm proud to be American, I'm proud to be American in the dream, like the American dreamer way.
Right.
I'm not proud of our government right now either, man. Okay. Every time I open a headline and it says US government did, I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and that's
it's
not
the same thing.
And that's not party affiliation. That's all
Action
government.
affiliated.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's this crazy people that we have elected. It just boggles my mind. And so
across both parties.
Yeah. But to your point, and I've always been fascinated by this because you get people that come here from countries that aren't great. That's why they come here, but they're still very proud of where they were born or where they're from, and I used to get like frustrated. I was like, wait, you came here. You should be waving our flag, not that flag. And there's sometimes I still feel that way in full transparency, but they can have pride for where they are despite the fact that their country may be, the murder country of the world or the crime or, corrupt governments, I mean, there's a lot of governments right to the south of this country that are not operating with the people's interest in mind, and yet they're very proud to be there. You see them at the World Cup now. I mean, they are so enthusiastic, like Paraguay,
and as they should be.
Like Paraguay beating England or Germany yesterday.
Big deal.
Like huge deal. Like that's a huge deal, and they're so proud and they're crying, and then that's just so cool, and it's so cool to see, and it's so cool to watch the American supporters come out and support the U.S. national team the way that they are. It really reminds me of, when I was your age with the World Cup in '94 and then the '99 World Cup, Women's World Cup, and how we rallied together as a country.
Yeah.
And, so it's been cool to see, but then it's really even now there's social media. And so now we get to see what everybody else is seeing or saying.
Yeah.
And they're like, man, the flyovers are freaking amazing. And, if you've never been outside this country, nobody does that.
No.
Nobody does that, like, and then they talk about how nice the parks are and how nice the people are, and how big the food is and how big, how big everything is. And
they're discovering ranch for the first time.
Yeah, ranch was the number one, like, holy crap moment.
Yeah, they were loving the ranch, which is so funny because, like, I am not a big ranch enthusiast.
Yeah.
Like, I'll eat it sometimes, but it's not my choice dressing. And so it's so funny to watch them come over and try, like, Chick-fil-A sauce and Panda Express, which they just opened that one by me. So if you come visit, we're toast, dude. But yeah, it's amazing. And one thing that, like, also I want to point out is, a lot of the times when you say you love America, people will bring up, okay, but what about what we did in the past? I'm going to go to the extreme here, but you mentioned Germany.
Right.
Germans are very proud of where they come from, regardless of their past, because it's not what they stand for
today.
And they learned from that. Just like we as a nation, we don't stand for what we used to stand for. Right. And we have moved on from that. So it's like, it's the same thing as you wouldn't want someone to judge you for what you did in middle school. Yeah. Okay. I was 12.
Right. Right.
I probably was a raging asshole. I was going through puberty. I had a lot going on. Okay.
Right.
So just like you wouldn't want someone to judge you for your past, the country also wants you to move forward. We don't promote the same things that we used to. So let's stop acting like we have to somehow bear the responsibility for what our messed up ancestors did.
No, you're
like, it's not.
It's a great point. You know, I totally agree with you. And it's funny because at work today, I had a lot of statuses with some of the leaders there and that work for me now. And you know, we talked a lot about, you know, what was happening 2 years ago and what was happening a year ago and what was happening 6 months ago. And I was like, you know, I really appreciate that for context, because I get to understand the picture and the story, and I can't relate because I wasn't there, but I can empathize because I have experience of life, and so, you know, our parting agreement was, okay, well, I appreciate that, but what I want this meeting to now go to, or this status to go to, is what's going to happen now from June 30th on, because there's nothing I can do about that. You've shared it. I've shared my thoughts on it. We can we can draw the picture and paint the story based on all that experience. But in order for us to elevate and be better, we have to look from today forward.
Right.
Not just always looking backwards, you know? And so I'm a firm believer in that. And, you know, there's a lot of things that we can sit and look back on and just dwell and be miserable about, or we can just say, okay, we learned from it, we know it, it's there, and now we get the opportunity to start today and be better and look ahead. You know, I mean, how many freaking memes and inspirational leaders talk about, you know, you can't change yesterday, tomorrow's not promised, so focus on today, right? So like, we can't change yesterday, so focus on today so that we can move forward and have a great future, you know?
Right.
Like, this whole continuing to drum up, you know, X, Y, or Z is it's just exhausting.
It's a tired act.
It is, and it's everywhere because it's immersed into the politics and it's immersed into everything. It's like, yeah, okay, well, and then it's just finger pointing, you know, like.
Sorry, there's a gnat in here that's like terrorizing me right
now. I know,
now.
I can tell. It's like, you know, current president is terrible. Yeah, well, Clinton had an affair in the Oval Office. And then it's like, yeah, but so, like, we just continue to go back and forth about stuff that's already happened.
We're just always pointing the fingers.
Yeah, and blaming the past on each other, or this party or that party, or this ideology and that ideology. And it's like, geez Louise, hey, how about we just focus on being good people, being good Americans, supporting this country forward, understanding that we don't live utopian, and we're going to have faults, and we're going to do our best, and we're going to learn from it, and we're going to move forward, you know? Like, are you done with that gnat? Like,
the gnat keeps flying in front of me, but also my microphone, I think the screw is loose, because if I leave it for too long, it just like slowly starts to tip back. It's not my fault.
Okay. 10-4.
Yeah, I mean, to rally off of what you said too, is it's like, one thing I have learned is that we do need to stop pointing the fingers at each other and start pointing it at the governments, because one thing I have learned from this World Cup, which we touched on last time, humans can coexist.
Yeah.
We really can. Yeah. We've seen it. Look at what's happening.
Yeah.
Everyone is coexisting. Everyone's having fun.
Yeah.
And everyone's having that moment where they're going, wait, maybe our government isn't telling us the truth. Right. So it's like we talked about, the most unique pairings that we've seen in this World Cup. And it's like, humans all, I feel like at the end of the day, just want to be able to exist happily.
Yeah.
And 98% of us don't care where you came from, what color you are, who you love. We all just want to exist and be happy. And so that's one thing I feel like we all are learning, is it's like, I don't think world peace is ever possible, but I think we can get closer if our governments just stop wanting to blow each other up.
No.
Like, why are we always arguing? It's like the most toxic marriage in the world.
Yeah.
Except for it is the world. And we're always arguing. Right. And all the people are just like, hey, I really liked that song you made. Oh, thanks. I really like that dish you made. Cool. The end.
Yeah. It
It's
is.
just so funny to me. And sometimes it really does feel like we live in a fake environment and like the government is controlling it all
Yeah.
and they're losing control on us right now. So now we have to go bomb some country so we can all get pissed off at each other again.
You know what's funny is like you talked about what's true and what's not, and there's just so many books about people of power and their ability to brainwash and influence and not tell the full truth, and so that, and but then so then you don't know what to believe, especially now with social media, because it's just
An AI.
It's all crazy, but you can go back forever, like the Kennedy assassination and the conspiracy around that and what actually happened. The
moon landing.
Some people believe that is a conspiracy, but then there's conspiracies that have happened lately that turned out to be true, right?
Yeah.
And then so it's like what is real and what's not, and sometimes I think humans are too advanced mentally sometimes to try and figure out certain things or manipulate things instead of just existing with a common goal of just being decent and living a fruitful and healthy life. It is weird. It's weird how the brain works, because like I said, our brains even do it to ourselves. Like when I get ready in the morning, the reflection that my brain captures is a younger version of what a camera captures.
Yeah.
And so when I see pictures, I'm like, whoa, there's no way I'm that gray or I'm that baggy, or you know what I mean? Because my reflection my brain manipulates that image,
Yeah.
And so then you take that to the next level to where we can manipulate stories or events or originations of things, or you know what I mean? And it's like, oh boy,
there was this one TikToker and he did conspiracy theories, and most of them were pretty fun and like the typical, well, not fun, let me rephrase that, but the typical ones, like, was the Titanic an inside job, was 9/11 an inside job, was the Kennedy assassination, like all those ones, like moon landing, whatever. And he goes into like finding points to prove both sides. Well, he got onto one about how Scientology is actually what the government is. And that the government works really closely with Scientology. That's why Scientology is so secretive and why a lot of elites are in Scientology. And he started getting into that. All of a sudden, this homie stops posting for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And everyone goes, oh,
he's dead.
They got him. He comes back, deleted all of his conspiracy theory videos, and now he is a Bible thumper. We were like, oh, they got him. Yeah. They got him. They brainwashed that man. They took him out.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Or like how many doctors will be like, oh yeah, they're lying about this, or we found the cure, and then they're burnt to a crisp in their house or missing and never.
Yeah.
It's so weird. And I also think the Nancy Guthrie, what happened to her mom, tragic. I think it was all set up to distract us from something else that was going on.
Yeah. Did they ever find her?
She's dead.
Well, did they ever find her though? I don't think
they
so.
said that they found her remains with a ransom note. But why would a ransom note be with remains?
A dead person, right? Yeah.
And it was, the ransom note was literally the murderer apologizing.
Yeah.
I've never in my life heard of a ransom note.
Yeah.
With a murderer apologizing.
Right. No, I mean, like I love fantasy books and stories, so like I've read a lot of those books, because why read about real life? I live real life. You know what I mean? Like I want to.
Yeah, I don't want to do it again.
I want to read or watch things that I know aren't happening. At least I don't think so. And there's one of my favorite books in the world is called Fairy Tale. I'm looking at it. It's up there in my office on my shelf. And it's by Raymond E. Feist. And the plot of the story is a man and a woman are second marriage, right? For each of them. He's a famous Hollywood screenwriter that obviously started as just a writer writing novels. And so, he from LA, made a ton of money. And so he buys this old farm like in upstate New York, right? And so the story goes that there's this Midsummer Night's Dream, which is when the fairies move. And so they live in our world, but in another dimension, and they move to all these different locations around the world every however many years they move. And but when they go, it's kind of one of those things like, did I see that? Like, is that one of those things? Because they're always in the
like when you
shadows.
See a shadow and you're like,
and so
you're like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, so they have twin boys, and one of them gets taken by one of the evil fairies, right, into this other dimension. And so it's about how did they get them back before they go on a move, because once they move, they're gone, right?
Yeah.
And so the human side of it, and why I brought it up, is there's this secret society, like people call like the Illuminati or something, that know about them, and there's this agreement. And so the reason why the kid was being able to take is because the leader of the dark part was doing things to manipulate, so it violated the agreement between the humans and the fairies. And so they were going to take over the world, blah, blah, blah. Like it's very intense, but very detailed. And so the Illuminati guys come in, and then they put it all back together. And then there's like this magical, like, you'll never remember this type of moment, right? Where
like the Obliviate spell in Harry Potter.
Yeah. So the kid, obviously there's changelings and all that kind of stuff. And so all the kid remembers at the end of the story is that he was in the hospital because he was sick. And that's all the family knows. But in the reality, it was not him. He was taken, and that was a changeling. But the Illuminati wiped it all clean, and the agreement's all good, and they moved on, and who knows, and there's like an old Irish like woodworker that had seen it twice in his lifetime because he was like in his 90s, and so they came back twice in his lifetime to the same area. And it's really crazy. And it's one of my favorite books. I probably read that book 15, 20 times, no exaggeration, because it's just such a great book. Raymond E. Feist is a fantastic writer.
He is. That name is very familiar.
Yeah. And, but I bring it up because it goes back to the conspiracy type thing. And is there some sort of secret society that's manipulating
You
things?
cannot convince me that there's not.
Like it's crazy.
Oh my God, what's that movie with Tom Cruise that everyone was like, he just wrote a documentary? Oh my God.
Well, he's done a few of those.
Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh, yeah.
Stanley Kubrick's final film.
Yeah.
Final.
That movie.
Final. And then there's like an hour of footage that they cut after he died before it released in theaters. Why?
Right.
Why? And why is no one addressing that? Why has Tom Cruise never said anything about it?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't know why?
He's part of it. And he's part of it.
Scientology is the government.
No, it's so no. Like, I mean, I don't know. We're having fun with the topic, but it is kind of
we're just
crazy.
shooting the shit. But it is interesting when you think about all these conspiracies and like the Matrix. Who comes up with something like that just out of the blue without having any kind of
intel
knowledge? Because even with a lot of the best like fantasy or dystopian stories or thrillers, there's always a little bit of a plot hole.
Yeah.
Right? Like in Harry Potter, there's a few plot holes. That's because she came up with it and there's details she forgot.
Right.
Lord of the Rings, there's plot holes. because he came up with it. There's stuff he forgot. Percy Jackson, like some of those,
Yeah.
the plot holes, everyone's like, oh, those suck, but it makes sense because it's not real. But then The Matrix stayed solid for all movies. There was not a single plot hole in that movie. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
That's crazy.
Like,
Yeah. It is.
it's just like stuff like that I think about, where it's like they're telling it to us, but we're writing it off as fiction.
Yeah.
Like, how many movies have been made by Hollywood that are where they're like, it's just a fun little thriller. What if it's not, though?
Right. Yeah.
What if they're just like genuinely telling us something?
Yeah.
And we're just all like, wow, that jump scare really got me. It's like, no, we're missing the point.
Yeah. And it is crazy because, there's a lot of movies where it's like, Aaron Brockovich is a real person that uncovered a lot of conspiracies and things that big corporations were doing, right? Dark Waters tells the story of a true corporate defense attorney who uncovers a decades-long conspiracy involving the chemical giant DuPont, right? That was a big deal, the DuPont issue.
Yeah.
And then you have All the President's Men that's based on Watergate. The Insider follows whistleblower Jeffrey Wiegand, who exposed the major corporate conspiracy of tobacco and how we hid that. I mean, we can talk about marijuana was a big conspiracy about the effects of marijuana and how the alcohol companies lobbied the government to make it illegal because it was going to hurt their industry,
take their sales.
Yeah, like there's a lot of that, but then there's a lot of like next level stuff that you're like, huh.
It's almost spiritual. And then there was one time I was watching a conspiracy theory video, and I like my TV randomly shut off in the middle of it. There was no storm. It's not like it was super hot out, so like they interfered with whatever, but it just shut off midway. And I was like, I was here by myself, so I was like, okay, guys, I'm sorry, I'm done. I was like, do not bomb my house right now. I'm done. I won't turn it back on.
Yeah, I mean, it is crazy, right? I mean, somewhere there's something going on, and we all make the joke because I think we're at a point in civilization where we just accept the crazy.
We accept bad news.
And we accept the crazy. You know, like our phones listening to us, we just accept it. You know, and we're like, it's so crazy. I was just talking about it, and look, and it's like, ha ha ha. But that's crazy. Like that's
terrifying.
That's terrifying, you know? And like, you know, there's people like you said that have like come out with something and then all of a sudden they're gone. Or the guy that invented the engine that runs on water, he gone, you know, like.
And guess what we're not using?
Water.
Engines that run on water.
Right.
You know what they're building instead? A bunch of data centers that are stealing the water.
Yeah. What? Yeah. It is.
Like no one's looking at that going, that's weird.
Right.
Like what?
Like, and how is this being so masterfully manipulated? And how are we like? I mean, there's books on this stuff, right? Like how you brainwash an entire civilization, you know? And
it's called COVID. That was their trial run.
That exactly. I couldn't agree more. I was thinking about that on the drive home from work today. It was 6 years ago already, 6.5 years ago. And I questioned it then, and I question it now. And now
and nothing feels the same.
You know, and Fauci got indicted by the World Health Organization for crimes against humanity. Because
that's biological warfare.
Right, because they released a bunch of stuff. And it's like, oh, well, maybe I was right about that. But I don't know, because I'm sure someone else will come in and swoop it away and we'll never hear about it again. And it's like,
or like now GLP-1s and Ozempics are being found to destroy your bone mass instead of just destroying fat.
Yeah.
But guess what? Soon that's going to be wiped. No one's going to remember it, and they're going to keep pushing it at us.
Yeah. We're all going to be sitting in chairs and fat and cruising around the universe.
Well, Ozempic does the opposite.
No, but up. I was
We're gonna.
thinking.
Oh
I mean,
no, you're
not
thinking
up. I'm
Wally.
thinking of Wally. Yeah, I'm thinking of Wally, where we're just gonna the
Be
master.
dependent.
Like the machines are gonna. There's something going on where, and then all of a sudden, once we try and question it, the machine's gonna be like, "Nope, you're not taking control of this ship. We're gonna go this way." You know.
I'm saying, how many times do we
So
have to make
weird.
movies? How many times do we have to make movies warning about this shit, and we're still doing it?
Because we're so self-consumed.
Because we're dumb.
We're self-consumed. We don't.
These are warnings, y'all.
I mean,
these were warnings.
yeah. And the crazy part is like you can think about in the past, like these things. I mean, I don't. Let me rephrase. Obviously, is not the right word, but I'm sure that these things have been going on for years and centuries, decades. Who knows, right? I mean, the more and more I'm learning about things, the more and more I'm like, wait a minute, like the Earth has been around for billions of years, but we only know about the last few thousand, right?
Yeah, what was going on before?
Like what was going on before? Like all the conspiracies about ancient Egypt and how they line and they're symmetrically and the advanced and how the drawings represent things that they couldn't have known.
They could not have known.
And
how they were more sentient than we think. Like they weren't ancient.
Yeah.
They
There's
were
nothing ancient about it, right?
They were very progressive.
Like ancient is the Dark Ages, like Braveheart times, right? Like that's ancient, right? Or like but
even how did those boats make it across the waters when we have cruise liners being taken out by these waters?
Yeah.
It's like, once again, what were they doing with the boats that we, like, it's like
the Viking, like the whole Viking exploration.
How did they do that?
It's crazy.
How did they do that?
Yeah. So now, when you watch like things like Game of Thrones or you watch these, you're like, I bet that could have happened. You know what I mean? Like Star Wars used to start every movie a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And you're like, there's no way they'd have the technology a long time ago. And it's like, well, maybe we did at one point, and we had to be restarted somehow by something.
Or how they say that every great empire lasts 250 years. And all of a sudden, everyone in America is kind of starting to get fed up.
Yeah.
And starting to fight back and investing in these conspiracy theories. And what are we celebrating this year?
250th anniversary.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. It's weird.
It's weird.
It's wacky out there. But
this stuff is fun to talk about, though, in the sense of I hope I don't come home and everything in my house is taken from me after work.
I was just thinking about this stuff is fun until I get a knock at the door and there's this dark dressed person dressed
in a gold
in dark
mask
clothes.
with a red robe.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm sorry, we were just joking around. Please don't take me away.
Just kidding. I don't actually, everything I said I believed in, I was lying.
Yeah,
I don't believe in any
just
of
playing.
it.
Just leave me here. I'll be fine.
Yeah, seriously.
I'll go to work.
I'll never speak of it again. Yeah, no, but this stuff is fun to talk about because it is interesting. And it's a little scary in the sense of like, we never really know anything. And no matter how transparent your government says they are, they're not.
They're not.
We'll never know anything. That's why that's why I believe a lot of FBI agents aren't allowed to say that they're FBI agents. Not only because there's the threat on their life at that point, but it's like they know so much.
There's so much information.
CIA knows everything.
There.
Everyone who works in the White House can't say anything.
Right.
It's just very intriguing because, even with how honest they are, it's like, you're lying.
Think about this, and this will probably be the last thought that I have when it comes to this because we're coming up on time. But I had a roommate years ago when I was 19 who went into the military right out of high school. So he's a few years older than I was. And he worked in a segment of the government that knew about UFO stuff. And he wouldn't tell me anything, right? And I asked a lot, and he wouldn't tell me. I'd get him drunk. I'd do whatever I could to try and tell him. And then people forget, it wasn't that long ago that the government actually came out and said, we understand and validate that there have been unidentified visitors. And we don't even talk, that should be Like
Big news.
every day you should walk out and look up because something's happening, right? And we don't even talk about it. And it's
like Chicken Little.
It's like holy shit.
Yeah.
Like all these conspiracies or all these speculations and the whole like anti-belief that we're alone in the universe. And they're like, well, how come they only ever visit like the country guy in South Dakota or whatever? And it's like, well, now the government came out and said, yeah, we have evidence that we have some things happening here. And they released it. The news reported on it for like a day. And then it's like, okay, now we have...
Because there's so much information being thrown at us that they were able to slip it in there.
Yep.
And that was it.
That was it. Meanwhile...
And you know what? Maybe that's why they created skyscrapers. So when you do see blinking lights, you're like, oh, that's just the top of the tower.
Maybe. That's
why the countrymen only see it.
Well, if they do come, they can take me. I'm done with this place.
As long as they don't put probes in my butt like they do in South Park.
Yeah.
If they don't do that, we're cool. We're chilling.
I want to live like Star Wars. Like I'm all for it, you know?
Yeah, I'm over this shit.
I'm over this place, man.
I'm over this timeline.
It is crazy, man. There's so much stuff out there. So it is fun to talk about, but it is also insane.
Well, we didn't even get into like the paranormal.
Yeah, that's a whole nother element. That's more up your thing than mine. But anyway,
I love watching those videos.
I know. I don't,
because if humans are made of energy and energy cannot be created nor destroyed, then where are souls going?
Yeah.
Well, I have to be careful because I am a Christian. I'm not trying to do blasphemy, but
yeah, but there is.
I'm just.
There's an argument. We've talked about this before, where I was like, I want to believe, but then I also have such an inquisitive mind that I'm like, well, what if God truly is the thing, right? And I know a lot of people believe it, and there's times where I believe it, and I've already talked about that. I don't have to go down that. But then I'm also like, but what if a civilization like Star Wars, who is obviously, if they were a long, long time ago and had the advanced technology to travel at light speed, maybe they've traveled and discovered Milky Way and found Earth and like, you know what, let's put a couple people here and see what happens.
Right. And or like they jump timelines kind of thing.
Right.
Like when you die, you're actually just jumping
timelines.
Like,
yeah, there's all sorts of wacky.
Because there's like the Tesla videos where, when you back in and they scan the area for people, there's been multiple videos where someone, like the camera has detected someone standing there or a dog, and there's no one there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And they're like, so they just keep backing up and the person just disappears. Yeah. It's like, where did they go?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Where did they come? So it's like,
it is nuts, man. It is crazy. There's so many movies about it. Like there's a movie in the 80s or maybe early 90s called Flatliners.
I think you've talked to me about this movie.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon and I think Kiefer Sutherland and was it Julia Roberts? I can't remember, but they experiment with dying and then coming back and like telling each other what they saw and stuff. I mean, that's a whole nother level. Maybe that's next week's topic because the paranormal is another level. Was it Julia Roberts?
Yeah, it's Julia Roberts.
Okay. When did it come out? 91
90.
Or something? 90? Look at that, dude.
90, because everyone thought the world was going to end in 2000, so they just started exposing everything.
Yeah, 99. So anyway, maybe we'll visit that topic. But yeah, fun conversation.
Hey man, I can always talk about the paranormal.
I know you can.
That's one of my fascinations.
Yeah, that's a fun conversation. It's good to be back. Good to see you.
Yes.
I know.
I promise we're not going to wear the tinfoil hats forever, but it does get fun to put them on sometimes.
Right. Yeah. Like M. Night Shyamalan he is all immersed in this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's insane.
Why they tried to silence him for a long time.
Yeah. Very interesting. Anyway.
Next episode, I'm going to come with a tinfoil hat.
All right. That'd be funny.
I'm going to have one taped right on top of my headphones.
Yeah. That's funny. Well, on that note, good episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you were entertained. Hopefully you laughed. Hopefully you did something with this and enjoyed it. I don't know. I don't know what
In
I was
government, we're
meaning.
joking.
Yeah, and if anyone outside is listening, then we're accurate. Please don't hurt us. But in the meantime, I'm proud to be an American. I'm proud to see us host the World Cup. I'm proud of other people coming to visit and appreciating what this country is. I'm glad to see that people are discrediting all the haters about the country. And go U.S. national team. Soccer is my favorite. And so the farther we can go and the more success we can get, it just makes me so happy. So go USA. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, because we'll put a boot in your ass. It's the American way.
The American way. That's right.
I was hanging out with some friends on Friday or Saturday night after the Morgan Wallen concert here in Clemson. I'm just gonna wrap up with this because I mentioned the song, and they do karaoke every Saturday. So somebody put that song up, and they didn't even get on stage; they just played it, and the entire bar was singing it. And I was like, "See,
this
is
America.
It.
Yeah.
This is why."
Yeah.
But yes, go America, go USA, go every other team that you people support. Good luck. I hope we beat you. But yeah, it is nice to see everyone kind of coexisting.
Having fun.
Read, learn information, be informed, stay informed, but treat people with kindness. And happy Pride Month. It's the end of it. So by the time this comes out, it'll be done. But happy Pride Month to everybody, because whether you like it or not, those people fought really, really hard to be able to be out loud with who they love. So happy Pride Month. Congratulations. And we'll see y'all next time. And I'll have all the blinds closed and my candles lit and the Bible in my hand. So no ghost finds a reason to come and bother me.
Yeah. Yeah. Go USA. I think we won't have another episode until after the 4th, right? So
yeah.
Happy 4th of July. Congratulations to the United States of America for making it to 250 years.
Don't F it up.
Let's hope this Democratic Republic can continue to survive another 250 years, because it truly is the best way. And we love and appreciate everyone that contributes to the success of this country. So thank you for that. Thank you for the team representing us so well in the World Cup. And thank you for
our armed forces.
Yes, our armed forces and everybody. Like, share, comment. We really appreciate it. And outside of that, be safe on the 4th. It's on a Saturday, so be safe, but have fun.
I'll be working.
And celebrate.
I'll be working.
Peace out.
Peace out, everyone.
Bye.